good evening, or rather, afternoon, and welcome to Weird-O-Rama. I'm your host, Victor von Psychotron, and all of us at Weird-O-Rama will always strive to bring you the creepy. Strange. And of course, the weird.
I'll load that truck myself.
But I haven't finished making out the invoice.
There's your receipt.
Tonight we have our latest double feature for you, featuring 2 retro television episodes and 2 new cliffhanger serial episodes. Tonight we bring you episodes of Sherlock Holmes, and the case of the Laughing Mummy, and an episode of Tales of Tomorrow, and their take on the classic Frankenstein story, starring none other than Lon Chaney Jr. We'll also have 2 more episodes of The Purple Monster Strikes. So, lock all of your doors and windows, turn off all of your lights, sit back, have a cup of tea, and enjoy our latest double feature.
Sir, can I carry a bag?
No, thank you. Sorry. So sorry. Excuse me.
What, sir? What, sir?
Sorry. Watson, hurry up. Come on, the train's going. Yes, it's happening here. Excuse me. Was it a close call, Holmes?
Yes, certainly was. If you hadn't lingered to pass the time of day with that barmaid, we'd have had ample time.
How did you know that I...
Your elbow, it's wet. Well, you've obviously been leaning on a bar somewhere. And if I know you, it wasn't a barman. Was she pretty?
Yes, he was a lovely young lady, as a matter of fact. Came from Lancashire. Hasn't been in London very long.
Blinko Watson.
Sardines Dalton.
Oh, I say, what a small world it is. Oh, good old Blinko. Best smile of the school ever had. Oh, I say, oh, man, you're putting it on a bit here and there, aren't you? Oh, particularly there.
Oh, well, you know. Say, Holmes, do you know sardines?
Oh, how do you do, sardines? Did you say Holmes? Not Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, I see you've been reading about him in the papers, what?
Oh, can't read anything else these days except about that last case of yours, Mr. Holmes.
Yes, well, that presented a bit of a problem at first, but we managed to nail him before the finishing line, didn't we, Holmes?
Oh, we did, Blinko. You know, I wouldn't be at all surprised if you were going fishing.
Yes, we're going to Witchenham, no?
Why, of course. I'm living at our old family place, Forthingham. That's near Witchenham. Oh, I say.
Something wrong, ma'am?
No, nothing really. I don't want to bother Mr. Holmes with my troubles.
What sort of trouble, Mr. Taunton?
Well, yes, it's my mummy.
Oh, Lady Taunton.
No, my Egyptian mummy.
Is your father married again?
No, don't be silly, Blinko. One of those Egyptian fellows who were mummified thousands of years ago. That sort of mummy.
Oh, you have that sort of a mummy?
Yes. My Uncle Joseph sent it to me from Egypt. He's an archaeologist, you know.
Well, it seems an odd thing to have sent you.
Last year he sent me a crate of sand.
Sand?
Yes, from Sahara. The desert, you know.
Just sand?
Yes, that's all. Just sand. Arrived one morning like the mummy case.
Mummy case?
Yes, a chap called Amenhotep.
Oh.
Amenhotep. Priest of the 14th dynasty or something. Anyway, that's what Professor Van Tolkien said.
Professor Von Tolkien?
Yes, he's a colleague of my uncle's. Lives quite nearby. He couldn't fathom what was wrong with the mummy either.
Precisely what is wrong with your mummy, Mr. Taunton?
It laughs.
I beg your pardon?
It laughs.
Laughs?
Quite.
How does it laugh?
Well, now, we go something like this. No, not really like that. It's much eerier than that. More like this.
See, when does it laugh?
Oh, practically any time.
Well, have you seen it laugh?
Me? Oh, good heavens, no.
Why don't you give it away?
I can't. Nobody wants it. I say, Blinko.
Oh, no, I'm awfully sorry. Oh, no, we couldn't. Well, look, why don't you burn it or chuck it in the river or something?
Oh, well, now, I know this sounds silly, but there's an inscription on it. Something like, who destroys my sleep, destroys himself. Professor Van Tolkins translated it for me.
Yeah, but you don't believe all that rubbish, do you? I mean, Egyptian capers and all that.
Well, no, I don't actually believe the curse, Blinker, but I've got to do something. Well, I'm engaged to Rowena Featherstone. You know her?
No.
Oh, she's a lovely girl. She's got an aunt, regular old battleaxe. Well, she keeps after Rowena to break off the engagement. Says a chap who keeps an Egyptian mummy who laughs, well, he can't be very reliable.
Yeah, well, I understand that. Yeah.
Oh, I say. Would you like to come over to my place and see if you can stop him laughing?
Oh, now, look, old boy, we were going fishing, you know, and
Oh, it might prove interesting, Watson. A mummy that laughs.
This is, Amonotep.
Well, he doesn't look as if he had much to laugh about.
You wouldn't think so, would you? You wait till you hear him, Blinko. Frightening, positively frightening.
14th dynasty, I see. It's an exceptionally fine sarcophagus. I must say the funerary carvings of the 14th dynasty were the most beautiful ever known. Ah, yes. Amenhotep was a priest warrior. And here's the curse.
Yes. Who destroys my sleep, destroys himself. Makes you think, what? Ow. This thing's full of splinters. I'm always pricking myself on it.
When did the mummy start laughing, Reggie? As soon as you received it 6 months ago?
No, rather not. First, he was very well behaved. Quiet as a lamb. Then he started in about a month ago.
I see. I take it these are the other Egyptian trophies your uncle sent you.
Yes, rather. I stick them all in this room here. I call it my Egyptian room. You know, I wouldn't like Uncle Joseph to come back and think I didn't appreciate the gifts he sent me. Pretty touchy about the things they dig up, these archaeological fellas.
Yes, quite naturally. Has your uncle been in England recently?
Oh, no, not since he went galloping off east as a young man. Must be at least 40 years, I think.
Then you've never seen him?
Oh, no. Oh, I say, that's the Sahara sand I was telling you about.
Oh, yes. Does your uncle never write to you?
No, never. Just sends back the things he digs up.
Have you got a photo of him by any chance?
Yes, this one. It was taken when he was up at Oxford. I think he must have changed by now, you know, 40 years. Ravages of time and all that.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry, Reggie. I didn't know you had visitors.
Oh, no, don't go, Rowena. I want you to meet my guests. This is, Blinko, Dr. Watson, and Mr. Holmes, Mr. Sherlock Holmes. This is my fiancée, Miss Featherington.
Mr. Sherlock Holmes, the detective.
Yes.
Yes, he's come to look into this mummy business for us.
Have you found anything, Mr. Holmes? Why does it laugh?
Well, perhaps he tickled himself to death.
I keep pleading with Reggie to get rid of it, destroy it, anything. But he's afraid of the curse.
Well, I'm the one the curse is going to work on, and you know what they are.
Really, Reggie, this is the 19th century. And Aunt Agatha wants to know when we're going to eat. She's famished.
Woman's always famished.
Please, Reggie, she is my aunt.
Well, I suppose I shall have to cook dinner myself. Cook left last night, 4th of the month. Say, Blinko, do you cook?
Well, I...
Reggie, you didn't invite Dr. Watson here to cook. I'll cook.
Well, maybe I better do it myself after all.
We'll both cook. Come on. How many of us are there? 5?
No, 6. I've asked Professor Von Tolkins to dine. I say, if you'd like a glass of sherry or a brandy or soda or something, you'll find it all in the cupboard over there.
Charming girl. I say, Holmes, let's finish up this matter in short order, eh? I hear the fish roundabout here actually snapping.
I wonder.
You wonder what? You found something, Holmes?
No, I wonder if Miss Featherington can cook.
A doctor, young man, you say? A veterinary, no doubt.
Madam, I'm a graduate of the Royal College of Physicians. I specialize in human beings.
And you detect, young man, I understand.
Yes, madam. I detect.
Work with the police?
Well, on occasion.
No wonder the crime rate's going up. Rowena, do we or do we not eat?
In a moment, Auntie. We're bringing the food in.
Reggie tells me you've recently come back from Egypt, Professor.
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Just a few months ago. I have retired from active participation in Egyptology.
I see. I understand that you met Reggie's uncle while you were out there.
Yes, Professor Taunton and I excavated for a long time together in the valley of the Lower Nile.
Is Professor Taunton still active?
Yes, Joseph is engaged in important excavation at the present time.
You must be very glad to see all your old friends and relations again, Professor, after all these years.
I've been gone so long, Doctor. I no longer have friends. And I'm afraid even my family wouldn't recognize me.
Well, here we are at last. Better late than never, I always say. Oh, please do help yourselves, everybody. Informality's the form.
Local trout. We used an old recipe we found in a cookery book in the kitchen. Didn't we, Reggie?
Yes, at least I think it was a cookery book. I read something about mixing nitrogen with hydrogen or something or other at the end of it.
Oh, Lord. Well, this is splendid. I haven't had a decent, well-cooked fish like this in years.
Rubber. Sheer, unchewable rubber.
I think it's very edible. What do you think, Holmes?
Quite. Who knows? A sauce might have improved it. Somehow.
It's quite delicious, Miss Featherington.
I believe you're accustomed to eating beetles and locusts, which I'm told are considered delicacies in your country. Ah! Ah! Ah!
Reggie, take the other end, would you? Carefully, please. Carefully.
This time we heard it ourselves.
Yes, Watson. This time we heard it ourselves.
And now we return to the case of the laughing mummy. Of all the silly things I've been inveigled into by you, this is the silliest. There we are. What do you expect to find up here?
Something I discovered earlier this evening, Blinker.
Do not address me by that ridiculous name.
All right. All right, old chap?
I'm all right now. But if I kill myself, I shall hold you personally responsible.
Good. No, we managed it somehow. Though I had my doubts on several occasions. Now, we'll soon know now.
Know what?
Unless I'm mistaken, this is our laughing mummy.
But this is only a weather vane, Holmes.
Ah, yes, but one that laughs. Listen.
Good heavens. Well, it is laughing.
It would appear to be so, wouldn't it? Especially with a mummy in the house. When the wind is in a certain direction, the weather vane acts as a whistle, and the resultant sound is funneled down into the Egyptian room below.
But that's marvelous, Holmes. How did you stumble onto it?
Well, in dealing with the occult, Watson, it's as best to remember the natural phenomena come first. Here, give me a hand with this, would you? One. That's wonderful.
Now, be careful you come down, Holmes.
Yes.
Let's be careful.
Here, Watson. Would you hang on to this, please? Watson, are you taking it? Watson, where have you gone? Watson? Watson? Watson?
Do you think they know what they're doing, Reggie, dashing out of the house like this?
Maybe not Blinko.
Well, Mr. Holmes seems very capable.
Oh, yes. He's the reliable type. Doesn't say much, but when he does, it's to the point. Like me.
Tell me, Professor, is this the first mummy you've ever heard of that laughs?
The very first, Miss Featheringstone, and I'm quite sure that...
Dr. Watson, what's happened?
I slid off the roof. Landed in the rhododendron.
Not my rhododendrons, Blinko. I've entered them in the local flower show.
You may now withdraw your entry.
Reggie, how long has this weather vane been on the chimney?
Oh, about a month.
I see. And it was about a month ago that the mummy started laughing.
Yes, that's right, Mr. Holmes.
It will now stop laughing. It was caused by the wind striking the weather vane, which then blew down the chimney and caused a sound which resembled a laugh.
Well. Good heavens above.
Mr. Holmes, how terribly clever of you. And you found it out all by yourself?
I, too, was on the roof, Miss Featheringstone.
Oh, I know. I think you're both terribly clever.
My compliments, Mr. Holmes. The simplicity of the explanation escaped us all. Though I knew, of course, there was an explanation.
Well, now we can all go and finish dinner. We've got something else coming, I think. Lamb, isn't it, Rowena?
I think so. It's meat of some kind.
Good.
Oh, Reggie,
Yes, Mr. Holmes?
who stuck this on the chimney?
Well, I did. It was lying about the place, so I stuck it up there to keep it out of the way.
Oh, I see. Thank you.
You know, I believe I'll miss him laughing. Made him human somehow. Almost chummy. Chummy mummy.
Oh, well, that's another mystery we've solved, eh, Holmes?
Yes, Watson. But in solving it, we've been confronted by a far deeper mystery.
Eh? What do you mean?
You may observe the sarcophagus is of the 14th dynasty, but the mummy itself is of a much later period.
Well, perhaps they had an old box lying about when the chap died.
Yes, possibly. But it would have to be lying about for a very long time.
Morning, everybody. Isn't it a lovely morning? Simply gorgeous.
Good morning, Miss Featheringstone. Yes, it is indeed a lovely...
You look very refreshing, Miss Featheringstone. Very refreshing.
And I am. No mummy laughing any longer, thanks to you, Mr. Holmes.
Well, I say, what early birds we all are. Morning, everybody.
Morning.
God's in his heaven and all's right with the world and all that sort of thing, you know what?
There's no need in invoking the name of the deity.
I wasn't. I was quoting a bit of poetry or something. Shakespeare, I think it is.
Tennyson, darling.
Oh, really? Oh, excellent.
Actually, Miss Featheringstone, I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's a quotation from Robert Browning. Ben Ezra.
Pippa passes, Watson.
Oh, yes, of course. Pippa passes. I knew it was something like that.
Good morning. Oh, good morning, Professor. Morning. Have a cup of tea or a baked egg or kipper or something here, what?
No, thank you. I just wanted to return this book.
Oh, I say it's awful decent of you, thank you.
Oh, Professor Von Torkins.
Yes, Mr. Holmes?
Reggie has a 14th dynasty vase in the Egyptian room, which rather puzzles me. I wonder if I could impose upon you to clarify a point for me.
It would be my pleasure, Mr. Holmes. Should we see it now?
If it wouldn't be too much trouble, Professor.
Not at all.
Ah, thank you. Yes, the composition of the pottery struck me as being rather later than the 14th dynasty, Professor. This is the vase I referred to.
Considerably later, Mr. Holmes. The 18th dynasty, in fact.
I rather thought Reggie was mistaken, as he was also mistaken about the mummy.
The mummy? I'm afraid I don't understand.
Don't you? I believe it was you who told Reggie that Amenhotep was of the 14th dynasty.
It was, Mr. Holmes.
But of course, this mummy, like the vase, is of a considerably later period.
Really? How much later would you estimate, Mr. Holmes?
Well, I'd say 4,000 years later.
How did you determine that, Mr. Holmes?
Well, the sarcophagus is obviously authentic. But the burial wrappings of the mummy itself are of a comparatively modern Egyptian weave. Expertly aged, I admit.
I'd hoped the discrepancy wouldn't be noticed.
Well, if it hadn't been for the coincidence of the weather vane, I should never have bothered to look at the mummy so closely.
What do you propose to do, Mr. Holmes?
I'm afraid, Professor, I have no alternative.
Holmes, what are you talking about?
Professor von Tolkien is, I regret to say, Watson, involved with murder.
Murder? Well, who was murdered?
Joseph Taunton, Reggie's Uncle Joseph.
But how do you know? Where's the body?
You are gazing, Watson, at the mummified remains of it.
Oh, no, really.
You're right, Mr. Holmes. This is Joseph Taunton. And if I killed him...
What do you mean, if you killed him?
I don't know. That sounds strange, doesn't it? Joseph Taunton and I were friends. We devoted our lives to excavating the glories of Egypt. And last year we discovered the tomb of Amenhotep. An untouched tomb, Mr. Holmes. Over 4,000 years. Joseph and I were the first human beings to set foot in it since the day it was sealed. Can you imagine what that meant to us?
Yes, I can understand that.
Joseph was beside himself. He wanted to open the mummy case immediately. But it was wrong, Mr. Holmes. The case had to be opened carefully, delicately. We quarreled. I tried to restrain Joseph physically, but he broke loose from me. He ran to the case and opened it, and then...
And then, Professor?
And then he staggered and dropped dead.
As he opened the sarcophagus?
Yes. There were no witnesses to what had happened, Mr. Holmes. But in our struggle, Joseph had suffered bruises. I knew what the police would believe.
And so you removed the mummy of Amenhotep and substituted the body of Joseph Taunton instead.
It was the only way I could get the body out of the tomb. Mr. Holmes, I didn't mean to kill Joseph. It was his heart. He always had a weak heart.
You say he staggered, Professor. What did he do as he staggered?
He grasped his throat as if he were choking.
Watson, would you oblige me by removing the cover of the sarcophagus?
Yes, of course.
Ouch! That splinter.
Yes, Watson, ouch. As Reggie said, and as undoubtedly Uncle Joseph said, too. Professor, would you care to take a closer look at what Reggie called a splinter?
What? It's
a hollow needle that would pierce the skin of anyone who touched it.
But I don't understand.
The curse of Amenhotep, and a hollow needle that contained the venom of an asp. The same snake poison that killed Cleopatra, and that killed your friend, Joseph Taunton. The most marked symptom of asp poisoning is suffocation. The victim instinctively clutches his throat.
Then it wasn't our fight.
No. And traces of the poison may still be found in the body. even after mummification.
I say, Holmes, you don't think there's any of that poison left in the needle, do you? Because, well, if so...
The next few minutes will determine that, Watson.
What?
Well, how's old Monotep doing? I bet he's feeling down in the mouth now he's stopped laughing.
You'll be glad to learn, Reggie, that the professor has offered to take the mummy off your hands.
Oh, I say, that's awfully decent of you, Professor. What you going to do with him?
But he's also considered giving it a fitting burial.
Oh, of course. Now, why didn't I think of that? Do you realize what this means, Rowena? Now we can be married. That old... I mean, your aunt, well, she won't have a leg to stand on.
But, darling, Aunt Agatha really likes you. She just pretends to think you're not very bright.
Really? She likes me?
I think so.
Oh, well then. Let's go and tell her the good news.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Not at all, Professor.
Holmes! Holmes!
What? What's the matter? Why, you look ill.
It's the poison. I can't get my breath.
No, relax, Watson, relax. If there'd been any poison left in that needle, Reggie would long since have joined his ancestors. Fortunately, the curse only worked once.
Oh. Ridiculous. That's all right. Oh, but Holmes. Oh, that's all very well, but I still can't get my breath.
Well, not again.
Hey.
It's probably the food we've been subjected to. Yes, I myself would prefer some of that fish that you insist on pursuing up and down the waterways of England with such wild abandon.
Yes, of course. Curse. Utter nonsense.
Hello there. Time for another edition of Two Truths and a Lie, in which I'll tell you two truths and one lie, and you must guess the lie. And tonight, it's all about Lon Chaney Jr. First, Lon Chaney Jr. started his working career as an ad manager for a water heater company. Second, working in advertising, he was also an amateur songwriter and wrote jingles for Ajax and Blue Coal. Third, he went to high school with Fay Ray. There you have it. I'll tell you the lie by the end of our double feature. Good luck.
Probably Foster.
Get into the basement.
Uncle Cyrus, it's Sheila. Uncle Cyrus, are you all right?
I'm sorry, Sheila. I'm afraid I dropped off to sleep. Anything wrong?
The purple monster attacked Mitchell's workshop.
What?
That's right. Mitchell escaped, but the launching rocket was destroyed. It's certainly evident now that this purple monster intends to use the plans he stole from you to build a jet plane.
The loss of that rocket is very serious. It'll require a great deal of money to build a new one.
Yes, I know, but we can afford it. The Foundation has ample funds, and Mr. Stewart keeps a reserve of about $100,000 in cash in his vault for emergencies. You can draw any reasonable amount from him if I countersign your order.
Well, that makes things a bit easier. I'll go down immediately and draw $2,000 as a working advance for Mitchell so that he can get started on another rocket without delay.
Good. I can't go there now, but I'll be in before the office closes to countersign your order.
That's fine. Foster just told me that Stewart has $100,000 in cash in his vault right now.
100 grand. Who's Stewart?
He's president of the foundation. Of course, I can't draw a large amount without arousing suspicion. But you told me that you're an expert in opening safes, didn't you?
I can open any of them. That is, they don't have a time lock.
Stewart's safe has one. But I have a little device that'll make the time lock ineffective. Foundation office is in the tower building. Go down there, look the place over, and find a way of entry. In the meantime, I'll report our progress to Mars. The Earth expedition calls the Emperor. The Earth is calling the Emperor of Mars.
Speak. Your Emperor will hear you.
A brief report, Your Highness. As you can see, I'm in possession of the body of Dr. Layton. I have the plans of his jet plane and will begin construction shortly in a secret hideaway.
You have done well. Can you obtain all the materials you need?
Yes, Your Highness. I have complete control of the situation and will soon provide myself with sufficient sums of money so that I can purchase whatever I need.
If you need any help, it'll be sent. Mars and your Emperor are proud of you. You lead the first wave of the invasion.
I salute Your Highness. I need $2,000 as a working advance for Mitchell so he can start rebuilding again.
Very well. Craig will be in later, and I'll have him countersign for the advance then.
Your vault looks very strong and businesslike.
Yes, since we had the time lock installed, we feel quite secure. Come in and look it over. There you are, Doctor. And there's more here when you need it.
Thanks. We'll probably need it.
Any trouble?
Not a bit. The device is planted in the vault. You'll be able to open the safe any time after midnight.
Hello, Craig.
Hello, Stewart.
Glad you came in. Here's Dr. Layton's voucher for your signature. $5 o'clock. Time to close.
Just a minute. Look at that time clock.
Why, it's 30 minutes past.
You can see the minute hand moving.
Strange. Apparently something's wrong with it.
Yes, very wrong. I'll bet someone's been tampering with the mechanism. At the rate those hands are going, the time lock will be off sometime around midnight instead of 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. Who's had access to this vault during the day?
About half a dozen of our employees. Stands open all day. My people are free to go in and out. But no one except me knows the combination.
If I'm right, the man who figured out this device won't have any trouble with the combination. He knows at what time this vault can be open tonight, and he'll be here to get the money.
I'll have my people questioned at once.
No. No, you better say nothing about it. That'd warn the thief. I'll come back after dark and stand guard in the corridor.
Gadget worked. The time lock's off.
$100,000 in the bag.
Yum, yum. It's time for a tasty and refreshing snack. Promise to satisfy your hunger, your thirst, your sweet tooth. So visit our refreshment center now. Let's go! Show starts in 2 minutes.
Hello. Time for some words about some of the cast of our latest double feature episodes. Let's start with Sherlock Holmes, played by Ronald Howard. Not that Ronald Howard. Not Opie, or the man who directed Beautiful Mind, or starred in Eat My Dust. Different Ron Howard. He played Sherlock Holmes in all of the episodes. I've hosted another one before in one of the Christmas Weird-taculars, Sherlock Holmes in the Case of the Christmas Pudding. He was also in TV shows like Cowboy in Africa, Lotus Eaters. He was in a horror movie called The House in the Woods, not The Cabin in the Woods, different film. And he was also in a Hammer film, Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, oddly enough. Dr. Watson, played by H. Marion Crawford. He was in Lawrence of Arabia, but he's best known to B-movie fans for his work in all of the Jess Franco Fu Manchu movies. Vengeance of Fu Manchu, Blood of Fu Manchu, Face of Fu Manchu, all of them. Now, coming up in Tales of Tomorrow, we'll have Lon Chaney Jr. What more can you say about him? He played Dracula, the Wolfman, the Frankenstein monster, the Mummy. He was in so many classic Universal Horror Studios films. If you haven't already, check out Of Mice and Men. He's excellent in that, and he considered that his favorite role of everything he played. We also have John Newland. He plays Dr. Frankenstein in this adaptation of the Frankenstein story. He will be recognizable as the host of One Step Beyond. I've hosted many episodes of that. He directed all of those episodes, and he was a prolific television director, directing everything from Hawaii Five-0 and Policewoman to Thin Man TV series from the 50s. He was all over the place from the 50s to the 70s, directing all sorts of things. I married Alice Moore. She plays Elizabeth. She didn't do much apart from some minor television film and roles. She was in some episodes of Lights Out, another horror science fiction anthology show. Her last credit is this crazy film, The Private Files of J. Edgar Hoover. So you might want to check that out. So we hope you are enjoying our latest double feature. We'll get right back to it after this word from our sponsor.
Now, from Milton Bradley, a weird game, Voice of the Mummy. Press the button. From within the tomb, the mummy speaks.
Look out! The unholy snakes of Aemon reach from below. Move up 1 level.
Each player tries to capture the sacred scarab. He who collects the most jewels wins. The Voice of the Mummy, the electric sound game from Milton Bradley.
Tonight to the most famous tale of a science-created monster. We present Frankenstein, starring Lon Chaney, with John Newland and Mary Alice Moore.
All right, very well, have your laugh. You asked me to describe my idea of a perfect human being, and I tried.
But Victor, darling, what you described, and you're so serious about it. The perfect human being should be a giant in size, strong as a gorilla, disease-proof, durable, and quick to learn. Oh, it's so impossible.
It is not impossible, and I didn't say should be. I said will be.
Oh, does that word make a difference?
It probably does. You know, even when Victor Frankenstein was a student of mine, he was brilliant. And since then, he's shown amazing talent, originality, daring.
Thank you, Doc.
But above all, he's always said what he meant. Now tell me, Victor, What did you mean when you said will be?
I think medical science is ready to make an artificial human being. And he may as well be better equipped for life than we are, no? Since you find this so amusing, Elizabeth, what's your idea of a perfect man?
You, darling.
I think Victor's cousin is trying to answer that question for you.
Now, there's a perfect man.
Oh, see how he walks.
Well, we must be going, Elizabeth. You've given us a delightful evening, but we have to catch that train back to Geneva.
Please don't rush. Matthew will row you back to the mainland. Will you be coming again soon?
Very soon, darling. We'll let you know. Oh, this old castle. Only you would select such a place in the middle of a lake. What was your reason? To get away from me? You can't, you know.
No, Victor's always liked a quiet place to work.
Is that the reason?
That, and it's picturesque.
And?
Elizabeth, you sound as if you thought Victor was concealing something.
Well, he's buried himself in this remote place. You can't leave it without a rowboat. Might almost be a prison.
Many of these old castles were. Once. Please, darling, finish your brandy.
Oh, my dear. You sound as if you thought Victor was holding someone here for ransom.
Oh, no. But he won't tell us what he's been experimenting with. You said yourself how talented and original Victor is. Perhaps he has been making an artificial man. He's been so preoccupied lately.
Elizabeth. Oh, Victor, I know. She's getting back at you with a little joke of her own.
Why do you think I'm joking, Father?
Because Victor is a good scientist. He knows where to draw the line between what can be done and what is impossible. But come, we must be on our way.
Not sure Victor's talent has any such limits.
Thank you, darling.
What's that?
That's William playing with my recorder. William, please shut it off.
You've been recording our laughter. Why?
I've been recording various emotions for some work I'm doing.
For your artificial man?
No, please, no more of that, my dear. You'll be having me thinking that way, too. And you shouldn't, really, in this 16th century castle. It's too spooky. Come on, let's hurry. I wouldn't want to spend the night here.
I hope you're not that anxious to leave. Are you?
No, of course not. Take care of yourself, darling. You don't look well. I've been worried about you. Good night, William.
Good night.
The idea of a man being a creator. Well, I have created you. I've made you stronger than 10 men. You're indestructible. And now I shall give you life. Now I shall give you life. Now. dangerous. No. Dangerous. Dangerous. No. Not yet. We're not safe yet. Not yet. Electricity. Come. Enough for one day. Come. We mustn't tire you. We mustn't tire you too quickly. Sit here. Rest. Sit. Rest. You must stay secured here for a few days. There's a great deal for you to learn. The world mustn't see you. Not yet. I'll come back and we'll teach everything you need to know. Everything. Now.
At dinner. Do you think Miss Elizabeth guessed right?
Of course not.
Dr. Frankenstein's a very clever man.
He's not as clever as all that. No one is.
But he's got something locked in that room.
His research equipment. It's very valuable.
But who's to steal it? No one can get to the island without the rowboat, and there's only one boat on the lake. Whatever he's got in that room, it's not just equipment.
Sierra Elise, you're not to be nervous or upset. Miss Elizabeth is just a hysterical young woman.
Oh, so you think women are hysterical?
Now, I didn't mean you. You know how smart I think you are.
Oh, you're just saying that to get around me. You think all women have no sense.
It isn't so. Why, how would I get along without you?
That's in you, men.
I do. Now, what good would I be alone?
Stop your nonsense. We have work to do. Let's get our chair back where it belongs. Get your chair.
Easy now.
It's heavy.
Who are you? What are you? All right, got it. We've given it away. We'll go to the mainland to get help and hunt it down. Everything's going to be all right.
Forward, my friend!
man, it's William! William, what happened? What happened to him, Matthew? What is it, William?
He's ugly. He's ugly. He's ugly.
What did I do wrong? What did I overlook? I am completely responsible, Matthew. Once I swore that I would practice medicine for the good of humanity. I created a being with no thought of what would become of him. No thought of the danger involved. No thought of a tragedy like this. This could all have been prevented. It could have been prevented. I should never have started this. I should never have started it. And now I'll get rid of it. What are you doing? Burn this smoky stuff in my nose. Come here. It'll never happen again. It'll never happen again.
There are some things that are better left undone.
He must be destroyed.
Let me go to the main.
No, there's no time for that. We must do it ourselves.
Master William.
William. He's alone in his room upstairs. Quickly. Match. My gun. Don't struggle! Don't struggle! He'll crush you! Don't fight! Don't fight! I'd really like to kill him. Don't fight him. Wait. It's I whom you hate. I whom you hate. Whom you'd like to kill. When you shoot, aim for his chest, Matthew. Aim for his chest. If they didn't, the fault of the water did. The lake side? 200 feet down to that water.
Inside of it?
No, just the water. He's dead now. It's certain he's at the bottom of the lake. A broken neck. Oh, thank God. This doesn't bring you back Elise, does it? No.
I heard shouting!
Come in here. You mustn't come in here.
They're pounding at the main entrance!
Yes, Matthew, see who that is. Now, it's all right. It's all right now.
Professor, the doctor.
William, please go let them in.
What will you tell them?
I should tell them the whole story. It doesn't make any difference now. It's all over and done.
It's all over. All over now.
I made Father bring me back. I've been so terribly worried about you. We talked of nothing but you all the way here. I had a feeling that something was wrong, that you were in danger.
It's over now, Elizabeth.
What is, darling?
I must tell you. I only pray that you'll understand. Do you remember the last time you were here, we talked of my work? Of an artificial man, if it could be done, what it would be like?
Yes?
Well, it was not idle talk, Elizabeth. I created a living, breathing creature.
You created?
Yes. Yes, now you must believe me. I was thinking only of the scientific achievement, of the immensity of it. I was thinking only of the power of creation. Somewhere something went wrong. Something went wrong. Elizabeth, I created a monster.
Victor.
Tonight he tried to kill William, and he did kill Elise. Thank God the danger's past now. He's dead at the bottom of the lake. But I had to tell you.
I'm glad you did.
Matthew just told me. What a terrible experience.
It's past now, Father. Let's not talk about it anymore.
But Victor, the things you must have learned.
I shall never want to speak of it again.
Nonsense. This could be the greatest contribution to science and history. You've no right to keep it to
I had no right to start it.
But the experiment could be tried again. Surely the...
So he's dead. He's at the bottom of the lake.
Dr. Frankenstein, he's back. I swear.
You're insane. He's dead at the bottom of the lake.
True. He must have fallen on a ledge and climbed in another window.
What is it?
It's impossible. He's come back.
Where are your guns? Where are your guns?
Bullets won't stop him. I've done my work too well.
Bullets won't stop him?
You can't know the power and danger of this thing. It's evil and vicious. Now its only thought is to kill. There's only one thing we can do now. Electricity gave him life. Perhaps it will take it away again. William, you have to help us, will you?
Yes, Victor.
You must be very brave. You and Elizabeth must try to lure him to my laboratory.
But Victor, this small boy...
The monster has the mind of a child. It's direct and very slow. Now, you must be very brave. He must not know we're trying to trick him. Now, listen, you play or sing or do whatever you like, but he must not know we're trying to trick him. Your father and Matthew and I will wait in the laboratory. Make your way there. He's sure to find it.
I won't have it.
There's nothing else to do. If we don't destroy him, we'll all be killed anyway.
Victor's right, Father. We've got to do it. Are you ready, William?
Give us just a few moments. And God bless you. Quickly.
Are you scared, William? Well, so am I. But let's not let on, shall we? All right.
I've got a score to settle with him.
He's right behind us. Oh, darling, what are we going to do?
I shot myself, but he keeps coming, he keeps coming.
Here, hide. There. Stay.
course, the Foundation has more funds from which we can draw. The unfortunate part is that with the stolen money and Dr. Layton's plans, the Purple Monster will be able to build a jet plane himself.
And he certainly won't have to steal the materials when he can buy them.
Yes, but he can't buy the special devices and chemicals which are manufactured exclusively for our jet plane. When he does try to get them, he'll come out into the open. That's how I hope to catch him. Oh, I'll take it. Hello?
Hello, Foster. This is Saunders. What about that special fuel I processed for the jet plane? I've got a lot of money tied up in it, and now I understand it may be months before the Foundation will want to use it.
Yes, I'm afraid that's true.
Well, I called Dr. Layton. He told me to discuss it with you. He feels I should either be reimbursed or permitted to sell the fuel.
I doubt very much if you could find a customer. However, I'll take it up with the Foundation members. Goodbye. Saunders thinks he should be paid now for the rocket fuel he made for us, whether we use it or not.
I suppose he's right. You'd better get an okay from the other members, and then I'll take care of it.
All right. I'll drop in on Dr. Layton at the observatory.
Then you tell that absent-minded uncle of mine that I'm coming up and coax him out to lunch.
It'll probably be his breakfast or last night's dinner. See you later.
Saunders is getting permission to sell his rocket fuel.
So we steal it?
No, we buy it.
Look, according to my code, we don't pay for anything we can lift.
Garrett, among the rewards for your loyalty to me will be a trip to Mars when the jet plane is completed. From my people, you will learn that there's a time to steal and a time to buy. Expediency is our law. That is why when we've completed our fleet of jet planes, we'll conquer the Earth so easily.
So we buy the fuel?
That's right. Take a truck and one of your men, go to Saunders and tell him you're from the Spartan Motor Company. These plans are better than the first ones, Craig. They're giving me a chance to work out some of the bugs.
That's fine, Dr. Layton. Take as much time as you need.
Hello? Oh, yes, Stewart. Yes, he's right here.
Yes?
Saunders just called and said he had a customer for your rocket fuel.
Well, thanks. I'll call him. Saunders has a customer for the rocket fuel, and there's only one customer who could use it. That's the Purple Monster.
Oh, I'm not so sure, Craig. It's entirely possible that the fuel could be used in other types of motors.
Yes, possible, but not very probable. I'll tell Saunders to stall the deal until I get there.
Very well. I'll get back to work.
That's right, Saunders. Pretend you're going ahead with the deal. Even load the fuel on the truck if you have to, but stall as long as you can. I'm leaving right away. purple monster, didn't you see him?
He must have gone into Uncle's study. Uncle Cyrus, it's Sheila. Uncle Cyrus, are you all right?
Dr. Layton, what happened?
Purple monster came in and that's all I read.
He must have gone out that door. I'm positive this attack is part of the purple monster's plan to get the rocket fuel. I'm going to Saunders' place at once.
You better go with Craig, Sheila. He may need you.
It's taking long enough to load that truck. I know, but the fuel is very dangerous. It has to be handled carefully. Saunders Refinery?
This is the Spartan Motor Company. I'd like to speak to Mr. Benchley if he's still there.
Oh, yes, of course. Just a moment. It's for you.
Benchley speaking.
I tried to stop Foster, but I couldn't. Now he's on his way to Saunders. Grab that fuel and get out of there no matter what you have to do.
Right. I'll load that truck myself, but I haven't finished making out the invoice. There's your receipt. Start her up.
can't outrun him. We're losing that oil. When you get to the top of the grade, stop.
We hope you have enjoyed our latest double feature. Please feel free to email us your comments about it. Also be sure to check out our blog, Facebook fan page, Twitter feed, Weird-O-Rama.com, and our Patreon page if you're feeling heavy in your wallet, perhaps. So, oh yes, the lie. The lie. Lon Chaney Jr. did not write the jingles for Ajax and but he did start off his showbiz career as a songwriter, but obviously didn't go anywhere. So, we hope you have enjoyed it. This is Victor von Psychotron telling all of you to stay